Dr. Javon Jackson here with another weekly market update. Whew, I got a mouthful, so hold tight. So this week, the world's attention and the markets was focused squarely on the Middle East. And while the Fed did meet and a China trade deal is still in the works, everything else took a backseat to rising geopolitical risks. But let's start with the big headline. Israel continued its strategic strike on Iran, targeting nuclear and missile sites. And over the weekend, the U.S. stepped in too, launching MOP bombs and Tomahawk missiles on key nuclear sites. And the situation is fast moving and uncertain. But the concern here is oil. Iran is threatening to block the Strait of Hormuz, which handles about 20% of the world's oil supply. And if that happens, oil prices could spike and markets globally would feel the impact. With that said, the U.S. and Gulf states allies have a strong presence in the region and a major interest in keeping that strait open. So far, markets are reacting with caution, not panic. Now, let's talk about the Fed for a second. At last week's meeting, the Fed held interest rates steady, but indicated they still expect to cut rates twice later this year. And that sounds encouraging, but it's complicated. The Fed's current concern is inflation, especially with new tariffs potentially driving up prices in the second half of 2025. But many economists believe those fears may be overstated. Tariffs may not have the inflationary punch the Fed expects, especially with consumer spending slowing and the economy showing signs of softening. But here's the real concern. If the Fed holds rates too high for too long, the cost of debt refinancing for both consumers and the government could become unsustainable. And that's why the market is counting on those rate cuts. But the longer the Fed delays, the more pressure builds on the economy. So in the days ahead, expect continued volatility. The Middle East conflict could escalate or stabilize quickly, and markets will respond accordingly. So as always, avoid knee-jerk decisions and don't let fear dictate your financial strategy. If you'd like to read the full breakdown of what's happening and what it means, check out this week's market commentary link below and stay informed. Stay steady, and I'll see you next week. Take care.